How much should you spend on SEO for your e-commerce store? Somewhere between 500 and 10K a month, depending on who you ask. And honestly, the range is quite pointless because how much should I spend is the wrong question. The right questions are, what's the ROI of SEO in my niche? And what's the minimum I need to invest to get this SEO snowball rolling? By knowing the numbers, you're going to know if it's even worth it for you to invest in SEO. And how does that marketing channel compare to other channels like Meta ads, YouTube ads, TikTok ads, whatever you're going to use. In this video, I'm going to show you how to figure this out for your particular niche. So let's get to it. So unfortunately, as I said, how much should I spend on SEO is the wrong question. Or of course, you can ask the question. And once again, the range usually varies between, like most people spend between 500 to 10K, or they don't spend anything at all in terms of money. What they spend is their time, but time is also worth money. And most clients come to us like they have more time than they have money. So they pay us. And most of our client engagements are between 2K to 8K a month. That's in US dollars. But once again, how much to spend? It's almost like asking how much does a car cost? Like seriously, it's all about what you want. What's the potential ROI? Like what's the revenue potential in your niche? And what does it take to capture it? What does it take for you to be number one or be one of the top rankers on Google or one of the top recommendations by AI? What does it actually take? Like how much you need to invest? And the first thing I wanted to say is that if we're talking about the range of starting from 500 or even lower, like some people offer SEO services for even lower, the problem with that is that proper SEO takes investment. You need to build backlinks, you need to build content, you need to do, and proper backlinks, like quality backlinks that will not get you penalized, because there are many backlinks that can get you penalized, that can do way more harm than good. And if you're in the business for a long term, like if you're in it for years, if you're after long-term gains, then you do not want to risk with spammy backlinks. So if somebody's charging you $300, $400 or $500, and if the niche has potential, meaning that like you are selling products that cost a decent amount of money and there's demand, then odds are that you're not going to get too far with low investment, because it would not make sense. It doesn't make sense that all of your competitors have never tried SEO or they haven't done anything. Usually you're going to have competitors who have done something with SEO. Many of them have done deliberate SEO. And if they are ranking number one, they're probably generating hundreds of thousands, if not millions, per month or per year even, from the SEO results that they do have. So it does sense that you could outrank them or beat them by just only investing at 500 a month. So be very cautious of the lower budget range investment type, unless you're doing the work by yourself. Because as I said, proper backlinks cost at least $250 per backlink. It's just what the quality costs, because with most backlinks, you're going to need to write an article. You need somebody to host that article on their website. It's a lot of back and forth. So if you can get a backlink for $10, $20, it just does not make sense. And believe me, I've tried. Also, real content written by humans or edited by humans, even if it's AI, takes time. A real human has to edit AI content. Otherwise, it's not going to work at all. It's not going to do anything for you. Even you might get some short-term gains, but they only last for a couple of months and then they drop off. And you can be in a worse position than you started out with. Also, you need to invest into tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush. They all cost hundreds of dollars per month. You need people to handle those tools, to know those tools. Those people do not come cheap. They could easily charge $50, $100 per hour. So why would they work for you for $5 an hour? It just doesn't make sense. So $500 a month does not fund quality work. So I'm not saying you can't get anything done for $500, but I would be cautious. I would recommend you to be cautious, because you do not want spammy or black hat tactics being implemented to your business if you're in it for the long term. And also, expensive SEO isn't automatically good, because many agencies, not all agencies, many agencies, they just show you some vanity metrics, like even if it's traffic, but traffic isn't all you need, because it's not that hard to generate traffic with blog articles. But if you're an e-commerce store, then blog articles, they serve a supportive role. They are not the main thing that will drive your revenue. What you should worry about is the revenue. You need the agency to show you their real impact, like what are they doing, or how has their work affected your overall revenue from organic traffic. You and the agency has to look at the revenue impact. As you can see here, this is from one of our case studies. This is our most successful e-commerce case study. You can also see the video. I will link the video down below. But you can see that one of the things that we look at is, we always ask our clients for access to their Google Analytics. And we look at how much revenue is for SEO with AI now generating. So we would know like how much the client is paying us and how much they are getting from SEO. Then we can measure the numbers. We can measure the difference. And we usually aim for 10 to 1, at least 10 to 1 ROI. Not from the first month. It usually takes a year to get to that. But after that, the results are going to compound and the ROI is going to be way higher than 10 to 1. Not always, of course. We often mess up. And I would say that SEO works most of the time, but not always. And then the mistake is that if it doesn't work, you either have an algorithmic penalty, you have a manual penalty from Google already, or you just have too small of a budget in a really competitive niche. These are the three main reasons why we have failed before. But we're always trying to improve so that we don't make these mistakes anymore. So again, the right way to think about how much to invest into SEO is to aim for 10 to 1 ROI. So if you put $1 in, you want to get at least $10 back in time. And if everything goes well, then achieving 100 to 1 is also doable. It's rare. It's quite rare, to be honest, but it's still doable. We have done it a couple of times in the past. But again, it's rare because in most niches, there is a lot of competition already, which means that you do need to invest to beat those competitors of yours. And what are the main factors? There's three main factors as I've outlined here. So number one is search demand. How many people are searching for your products on Google and AI? Number two is competition. How competitive is the niche? And number three is what are your margins looking? And what's your average order value? How much do your products cost, basically? And here's an example of a niche that I wouldn't really recommend doing SEO in unless you see that there isn't that much competition. It's like hair ties for guys because they only cost $12 and there isn't that much search demand. Even if you get 5,000 visitors a month and 3% of them buy the products, that's 150 purchases. That means you're going to make a little under 2K a month from SEO and you still need to invest. You probably still need to invest a couple thousand. So it even might be ROI positive, but maybe not the best place. Maybe you would be better off doing social media or influencer marketing or something else, or trying to go viral, for example. Whereas on the other extreme is if you're selling high ticket products, and outdoor saunas is one niche I like to bring examples of. Is one outdoor sauna can cost like over $10,000. So the examples that I have here, by the way, these guys are ranking number one for outdoor saunas, and their products here cost between $6,700 up to almost 9K. So yeah, think about if you're selling outdoor saunas, and if you look at how much search demand there is for outdoor saunas, just for this one keyword, outdoor sauna, there's 26,000 people searching for this keyword every month in the United States alone. And the traffic potential for the first result or the first ranker is getting around 20,000 visitors every month. That's a lot of traffic. Another example is iPhone cases. Way lower ticket, like these cases here cost around $35. There is decent search volume. So this is like a middle ground case. There is search volume, but it is, on the other hand, it's quite hard to rank here. You need 60 backlinks and you need topical authority, you need backlink authority, you need backlinks, you need content to rank here. Whereas here it's much easier. There's also a lot of traffic. So there are so many different nuances you have to look at. This is also something we always look at when we analyze, will we take on a client to our agency? Because we only want to work with clients where we see that the odds of us getting them at least a 10-to-1 ROI are huge. Because otherwise the clients are going to complain and we don't want the trouble. We're mainly looking for win-wins. And by the way, we are offering audits, free niche potential audits. This is basically us going over your niche, doing like a quick 5 to 10 minute Loom video, showing you what's the potential revenue that you could earn per year from SEO and AIO in your particular niche. It's going to be like, if you want one, we only do a limited amount per month due to time constraints. If you want one, just click the first link in the description. Anyway, sorry, I digress. And here's another example of the ROI of SEO. It just shows you that even if you cannot rank for the main term straight away, it will take time to rank number one for your most important keywords. But you can start from the lower hanging fruit keywords, like maybe you can even start getting some easy traffic with just some blog articles. If people are asking questions in your niche about your products, like they have questions about the products that you're selling, or they have questions about the problems, how to solve the problems that your products are solving. And if you write thorough blog articles that answer those questions and then recommend your products, you could start earning some revenue and then reinvest that into SEO and to start going after, or to try and rank for with some product pages, with some collection pages, get those pages ranking, and then you can start going after harder and harder keywords, which are more and more competitive until you completely dominate your niche. So I like to think of it as like a snowball compounding methodology where you start with a small snowball and you start rolling it down the hill and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is just an image from one of the case studies that I have recorded, how much they spent in SEO, cumulative cost, and how much they have earned thus far. And even if they stop doing SEO, these numbers are going to grow, then stall out, and then start dropping, but the compound cumulative SEO value is still going to grow. And here are some other examples from the ROI of SEO from a few of our clients. Like the first ones here, they spend $3,000 a month. And they're getting, last month I just took these screenshots. This is from Agency Analytics, our SEO reporting software. And they pay us $3K a month and they earned $119,000 last month. Last month was June. High ROI. These guys here, they paid over 4K pounds. They are in the UK and their revenue was 43K pounds. So this is just monthly. We don't only care about the monthly ROI, we care about the annual ROI. And this is just for the revenue that they earn. But with SEO, like let's say you add $500,000 in annual revenue from SEO, and let's say 40% of it is margin. Your gross margin is 40%. That means you're going to add 200,000 to your annual profit. And if you were to sell your ecom store to an investor or whoever, like a competitor, and let's assume like a 5-to-1 profit to company value ratio, that means you have had a $1 million to your company value by figuring out SEO, by investing into SEO. That's where the other part of the ROI is coming from. But already, like with these guys here, we've already achieved 10-to-1 ROI by just the monthly numbers. But these are exceptional cases. It's not always that rosy. And another example here, 1K invested. They are on a pause right now, not on a pause, but on a lower budget for the summer because summer is their low season. We don't usually take on clients at 1K a month. The minimum is 2K. But still, the revenue is, even at a slow month, the revenue is still significant and the ROI is still 8 to 1. So how to find your number, how much it's reasonable for you to invest or it's logical for you to invest. And the logic is that you should work backwards from the return. The first thing is that you should find your niche's demand, search demand. How many people are searching for your products? What's the potential traffic that you could get to your site from AI and SEO? Here in the example of the outdoor sauna, the traffic potential here is around 20,000 visitors a month for just this one keyword, just for this one product. They're selling multiple other products as well, like hot tubs, indoor saunas, many different products. Just for this one product, there's 20K. Then you want to see like how much traffic the top ranking competitors are already getting. Like for here, I can see that like outdoor sauna, like the number one rankers, again, like this for this one product, they're getting over 17K visitors a month. And also be mindful of the second result here, Sun Valley saunas. Like they are ranking in the sixth organic position. They're still getting over 3,000 visitors. So again, you want to know or understand how much traffic your competitors are getting. This is also something we always do for our clients before we start to work with them to figure out is SEO even worth doing and how much they should invest. And should we even take them on? And then do the revenue math based on what's the potential traffic. Because if you know how much your product costs, it's easy to understand. We just go to your website or you know how much your products cost. And for the sauna niche, for example, if we just think about the sixth result here, let's say that you are unable to achieve result number one, but you want to surpass these guys here, sitting in the sixth position or the second organic position. Then if you were to achieve that, let's say your potential traffic is 3,000 visitors a month, your average conversion is 1%, which is way below e-commerce average, which is 3 to 5% for collection pages. But because they are higher ticket, let's assume it's 1%. That means you're going to get 30 sales per month. And at 6K a month, at 6K per product, you're going to make $180,000 per month in additional revenue from SEO, which translates to over $2 million per year, which is a lot. So that's the potential. But again, this is a huge niche. It's a high ticket niche. So it's a good example for me to give. But then again, I did not give you the top numbers here. I just gave you the sixth position numbers for this from sixth position. But still, this is significant. And now you can work backwards from ROI. So if you're looking at like per year, if you're looking at to achieve 5 to 1 ROI, which is considered a good ROI for paid ads, but let's just say you're trying to get to 5 to 1 ROI, then you could potentially invest $400,000 into SEO per year. Probably you're not going to do that. And that's completely fine. Although even if you did that, and you did spend that, and you were to achieve this over 2 million a year, this number is not going to drop to zero after the first year. Even if you just invested for 12 months in a row, you invested 400K or you invested that money into SEO only for 1 year and then you stopped investing, you're not only going to receive that 2 million, hypothetically, this number usually will continue to grow for some time from the work you did in the first year, then it's going to flat out, then it's going to drop. So it's going to take you're going to earn dividends for a few years, even if you stop doing all work with SEO. So that's why the ROI is even better. But let's just trying to be conservative, use annual numbers. So if you're aiming for 5 to 1 ROI, you could invest 400K. If you're aiming for 10 to 1 ROI, you could invest 200K. But most businesses do not want to invest that much to begin with. They start from smaller numbers. And our packages right now are between 2 to 5K, whereas some of our clients are spending more than that. But the way it usually starts is that they start from, and I'm not selling our services or not promoting our services, although I somewhat am, but that's not the point. The point is that most people start from anywhere from here. And once they see the results, they get more conviction. They will have more trust, more faith in doing SEO, and then they will increase their budget. Like our clients that are spending over 10K, 20K, like they didn't start from that number. They usually started from anywhere around these numbers. And then once they saw the results, then they expanded from there. And that's what I recommend as well. And the problem with less than 2K is that you don't have the firepower to get results. That's the main problem. That's why we have these minimums. And most agencies have these minimums. So the bottom line is that there's no universal number, unfortunately. Although I hate it depends kind of answers, although I gave you like it depends answer, but I also gave you that's like at least 2K a month is usually sufficient to start. Or if you don't have the money, you probably have the time. So do the work by yourself. Just look at some videos, look up how to do it, how to build backlinks, how to optimize your pages, and look for e-commerce SEO videos. We have tons of videos. Actually, I think right now a little under 90 videos, not tons, a little under 90 videos on how to do SEO for yourself. But if you do want to hire us, then you can start from the first link in the description if you have more money than you have time. So stop asking how much, but ask what's the ROI, what's the potential? Because then if you work backwards, if you know the ROI, if you know the potential, then you could compare, okay, like I'm making 3 to 1 ROAS on paid ads. Do you have enough budget to also invest into SEO? If not, then maybe SEO is more valuable or more profitable. Then maybe I should divert that money or divest that money take the money from paid ads and invest into SEO. Of course, you're not going to know. So maybe take half of it away from paid ads, put it into SEO, see if how it's going to work out for you. If you see it's really working, you're getting high ROI or high ROAS, then take more money away. Although we usually recommend to do both. So yeah, it's just a matter of comparison. It's a matter of figuring out the potential, figuring out what it takes to reach that potential, and then making a decision. Are you willing to go after it? And then also avoid cheap SEO. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. And expensive SEO doesn't always mean that it's good. You need to look at the numbers, and the ROI has to make sense. And aim for a clear positive return. We like to aim for a 10-to-1 ROI as a baseline and then grow from there. And as I said before, like you can start smaller and then expand. So start from a smaller investment amount and then increase it if you do see the results. And the audit I told you about, if you go to redpotentially/audit or first link in the description, you can request an audit. We only do, I think, like 10 a month due to time constraints. So you can request one and what it is, we're just going to look at your site, look at your niche, analyze what are the current top rankers in Google and AI. What are they earning potentially to give you a niche potential number? And then it's up to you if you want to take it further with us or not. We're not going to force any sales calls or anything. So thanks for watching. I hope I at least somewhat was able to answer your question. If not, if you have any further questions, just leave a comment down below. I promise to answer all of your comments. I wish you a great day. Bye-bye.